Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun with Benzion, as we continue Maseches Kiddushin. Today's daf is Kiddushin daf Samaches, number 68. Maseches Kiddushin talks about, today, one of the lines. It's a Gemara that's quoted a number of times, quoted in Maseches Ksubos, I believe, a couple of times, and it's a big machloka, it's a big argument. There's five different opinions of what makes a child illegitimate. If a child is born from a forbidden union, so the child becomes an illegitimate child. And there's a lot of stringencies according to the Torah. You can only marry a mamzeres. You can only marry another illegitimate child, a female illegitimate child. It's pretty strict. And it's pretty sad for those children, and a pretty unfortunate relationship that happens that produces such children. What is considered that unfortunate relationship? And there's a lot of different opinions. The accepted opinion, according to most sources, normative halakhic sources, is that the only type of mamzer, the only type of illegitimate child, is somebody who is born from an Isser Kares, meaning if you are together with a woman that you're forbidden to by punishment of Kares, being cut off, whatever that means. So, which is pretty severe, similar to Mises Bastin, similar to being killed by the Sanhedrin, by the Grand Court. So if you have that punishment, liable to that punishment, that union is punishable by kares or by Mises Bastin. So then that union produces a mamzer. Only that union. But anything else, if it's chayve lavin, for example, a Kohen, a regular Kohen marries a grusha. He's not allowed to marry a grusha, a divorced woman. If he marries a divorced woman and they have a child, according to most opinions, that child is not considered a mamzer. He might be considered a halal. He's considered someone who's his purity is a little diluted, but he's not considered someone who's considered illegitimate. And there's one opinion, Rabbi Akiva is the last opinion. It's not accepted for normative halacha, but there is an opinion of Rabbi Akiva. And since we're learning Maseches Chagiga, I'll bring up a short story of Rabbi Akiva to show the greatness of Rabbi Akiva. There was a story in Maseches Chagiga of four special people that went into something called a pardes. Pardes literally means an orchard. I believe this is in Maseches Chagiga on daf 15, 15a or 15b, I'm not sure. There's a long story over there. Four people went into the pardes. Rabbi Akiva, Ben Azai, Ben Zoma, and Acher. Acher is the other one. And the only one successfully to get out of the pardes was Rabbi Akiva. To show the greatness of Rabbi Akiva at the end of Maseches Makos talks about the rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash. Akiva nichamtanu, Akiva, you brought us comfort. The other people had problems getting out of the pardes because an orchard is very thick and all the trees look the same. And it's very difficult to see the trees instead of seeing the forest, right? Most people say you gotta see the forest for the trees, but at some point in life, you're supposed to see the trees instead of the forest. And that's really the difficulty of the pardes. Only Rabbi Akiva was able to not look for the forest, look at the trees for a certain amount of time, and successfully exit from the pardes. That's the story of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva's opinion is quoted over here, and he says that the only child that's not considered a mamzer, every illegitimate union, every woman who has previously been with another man is considered to be, under forbidden circumstances, is considered to produce a mamzer, an illegitimate child. The only time that it's okay, it doesn't produce a mamzer, is almana l'kohen gadol. Almana l'kohen gadol. Kohen gadol is obviously someone who's not just a regular kohen. He's someone obviously greater than all the kohanim, all the servicers. He's in charge of the kohanim, and a special honor accorded to him. As I mentioned, kohanim are slaves, basically, drones sometimes. The kohen gadol is not. Kohen Gadol is someone special. Aaron was a Kohen Gadol. It was something special given, a special award given to Aaron, a Kohen. Whatever the Kohen Gadol is, the point is that the Kohen Gadol is only allowed to be with a basula. He's only allowed to marry someone who's a virgin. That's a mitzvah essay and a mitzvah los essay in the Torah. He's not allowed to be with someone who's previously been with another man. And that's really the normative halakha according to the Torah. In terms of the progeny, this is where Rabbi Akiva comes in. Rabbi Akiva says that even though According to everybody else, obviously it wouldn't. The only the every relationship, only relationships that produce mamzerim are very strict ones. According to Rabbi Akiva, everything produces a mamzer, because Rabbi Akiva had very strict standards for himself, for the Kohen Gadol. He had very strict standards, and the only relationship that he would take part of and he would accept the children would be an almana l'kohen gadol. An almana is someone who had previous relationship, but it was permissible relationship. But she was married to somebody else, and yeah, she was a ba'ula. Even though it's somewhat of a profanity, but it's not enough of a profanity to consider the children mamzerim illegitimate. The Kohen Gadol, or Akiva, still wants those children. That's the message of today's daf. Hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed.